three specific data conditions which separate pilots from production, right? In our work, we have identified those three as unified data, which is the first one. The second one is governed access, and the third one is auditability and lineage. So I'll just go a little bit in depth on all three, or unification first. So what we mean by that is AI needs to consume the data from a coherent, reconciled semantic layer. If it starts to pull from raw data, raw source tables, and pulled it ad hoc without any planning, there is going to be inconsistencies or errors that is going to get amplified, like Aditya mentioned. And in most organizations, there is another problem. The same entity, a customer or a product, exists in multiple systems. And in multiple systems, they have different identities, different hierarchies, and even different update cadences. So, an AI model does not have no way of correlating. For example, customer in a CRM system, a customer A in a CRM system could be account B in the financial or the ERP system, and AI has no way to understand that they are correlated. So this kind of correlation and reconciliation has to happen, in a upstream, in a data layer, before the AI system starts to see the data or even consume the data, right?
Yeah, right. And I want to reinforce your point, Shan, because what we have seen is that unification is where like many organizations underestimate the effort involved.
Yeah.
So I guess we have seen teams, right, in the past attempt to solve fragmented master data inside the model itself, like essentially do a certain level of prompt engineering to figure out whether, like you said, a customer A in one system is the same as customer B in another. Like it might work in like a POC or a proof of concept with a few thousand records, but it doesn't work reliably when you're dealing with millions of records or millions of transactions that comes from SAP, CRM, warehouse systems, and partner applications. So what I think like work for a unification is like creating a trusted data layer first. So whether that's a master data management, a governed lakehouse in Databricks, or a semantic layer in Snowflake. The objective is that it's not tool specific. The aim is to give AI one trusted version of truth. And I would like to follow up by saying a second condition, which is the governed access. It's about knowing who can see what and making sure the AI operates within these boundaries. I think Gobu can agree with me on this, that in SAP environments, you have role-based access controls, right? And this has been refined over many years. So each person is acting in a restricted boundary in SAP. So that when we have an AI use case, the moment you start pulling data through a new AI layer, you are actually bypassing these controls in SAP. And now AI can access like PII or confidential personal data. Let's say imagine a scenario where an AI assistant is helping employees query operational data, and a warehouse supervisor is looking for the latest shipments that come in the warehouse and suddenly start seeing financial HR data, like which is not intended for them. So the technology here is like working exactly as it's designed, but outcomes are now becoming a compliance issue.
Yeah.
And like where organizations who give importance to data security or have like strong GDPR policies, they can kill the AI program instantly.
Exactly. Totally agree with what Aditya was saying, because this governance piece, it's something like all the SAP leaders will feel very emotionally. Like whenever I talk to customers and other SAP leaders, everybody will be, interested to know how we can have controlled access to business users or these kind of AI tools. So in manufacturing industries or like energy or any kind of industry, you will be dealing with data that touches financial reporting, regulatory compliance, and maybe even safety critical operations as well. So the idea is an AI layer might sidestep your established controls is genuinely terrifying to a CIO or CEO, right?
Yeah.
And rightly it's so, correct? So which brings us to the third condition, auditability and lineage. So in the if the AI makes a recommendation or generates an output, the business leaders challenges it, and definitely then you need to be able to trace exactly where that data came from, which data sources, which version of the data, which transformation steps. Definitely these kind of traceability should be there. And without lineage, AI becomes a black box, and black boxes does not get adopted in regulated industries, right, Sham?
Yeah. It does not, right? And nobody likes a black box as well. So, what I see that is, we've looked through the three data conditions, but there is a cost to each of these unresolved gap, right? There is a cost is missing unification. So your AI produces inconsistent outputs that the business can't trust. The worst thing is the time to detect. We talked about it earlier as well. Time to detect is mostly like 3 to 6 months after launch, where you are actually interacting with in the AI model, and you see that there are discrepancies, and it's slowly surfacing. So what that means is that your entire investment to the cost is down the drain, because now nobody trusts the AI outputs, and you also lose the goodwill which you had when the project was approved, because you wanted to bring AI into the organization. If you miss governance, even more serious, right? I mean, Aditya touched upon it. It could be a minor compliance issue, but I see it in a different way. It could be a minor compliance issue, or it could be as large as a reportable breach, which is going to again kill the reputation of the company. Missing lineage, it is good for a while, because your AI scales, your AI is producing right output. But right, Gopu mentioned, if we can't provide an explainability to AI answers, it will be flagged in an audit. And in the regulated industries, anything that is flagged in an audit is straight away either dies or goes into the back burner. So you cannot get an enterprise to scale AI beyond early adoption if you don't implement lineage and explainability.